Hi there, thank you so much again for joining me on this channel. As always, I'm very grateful for all your previous views, likes, subscriptions and shares. And I'm continuing my AI journey with part 2. So just wanted to give you a little update on some of the things I've been learning through my AI journey since I last posted. So I've been playing around with the prompt idea parts that was suggested me through the Google course, and I hit on quite an interesting idea or theory. Like lots of other teachers, I generate lots of resources. It's been done since the very dawn of time. And I've got a little test page where I post resources for free, because why would you pay for them? And then I got thinking, well, can I actually get AI to generate a resource for myself? And this actually has big implications. So I've got a lot of movie stuff on there. I've got a lot of things for documentaries that I've watched. And normally what I would do, I'd watch a documentary and then work out if I think it was suitable or not for this classroom or just my own subject knowledge. If I think it is useful for the classroom, I'll then normally watch it again, and then I'll pause it, type up a question, press play, pause it, type up a question, and so forth. And for a documentary that takes, say, an hour, it might take me an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes when you take into account the pausing and the thinking time. So you can see where this is going. So I took a recent documentary called First Communion, shown on the BBC. It's really lovely. It tracks 4 young Roman Catholic children and their journey to their first communion. And what I did is that using the part prompt, I asked Gemini to create a task sheet for me. Now, as I said, the 2 key things for using AI that I learned are the prompts and that human factor. We'll come to the human factor a bit later on. So what I did is that I used the part structure. So as you can see on the screen here, I'm a religious studies teacher in the UK. I'd like a worksheet on the BBC series First Communion. The recipients, the tone, and then crucially the structure. And what I did is I asked Gemini very specifically, I want approximately 10 to 15 questions in chronological order. It must have questions that include the names of the 4 children. I think that specificity is really important when you have a task sheet based on a documentary, but also I wanted to make sure that was mirrored in what Gemini produced, and I wanted a little introductory paragraph about the difference between the Roman Catholic view on the bread and the wine and the Protestant view on the bread and the wine. So here's Gemini. Just a couple of things I've got to mention is that the first time I used generative AI, I didn't realise you'd have such a big kind of plain void at the top, and your little chat box is right at the bottom. Okay, so that did throw me a little bit, but I worked that out. Let's just copy and paste into Gemini the prompt, exactly the same prompt that I show you on the slideshow. What I have done is that I've removed the word part, aim, recipients, etc., just so it wouldn't get confused. Okay, and let's just see what it comes up with. So we hit the submit or generate button, and this is quite nice. It gives us a little introduction here about the difference between the Roman Catholics and the Protestants. So what's helpful here is that it's already picked up and used the phrases transubstantiation and consubstantiation, which is a key word when it comes to understanding communion between those 2 denominations. Okay, I didn't tell Gemini to do that, that's done it itself. Got a nice little thing here about naming the children as a question. Okay, this is quite good as well. So how does Tia's family support her during her preparation for First Communion? Okay, that's quite nice. It's got a named question there. What does Niall learn about sacraments of the Last Supper in relationship to communion? And as well, you've got here some possible extension activities for higher ability students. So let's hit the regenerate button, which I think is actually kind of fun, and let's see what it does there. Can it give us something a bit different? So it's got I said sort of 15 questions there. Okay, it's got some different ideas about how you might want to approach it. This is quite helpful too as well. So Protestants, including Methodists and Baptists, a variety of views. Okay, somebody who Christ is spiritually present in the bread and wine. Okay, and then you've got some more questions based on the young children. So there's Sarah, and there's Tia, there's Magdalena. So all 4 children are mentioned. Okay, I think it's quite helpful to mention the names of individuals in a documentary. It just helps to, I think, anchor it in some kind of reality and gives it a sharp focus. Okay, I tell you what we'll do as well. Let's just regenerate it one more time just to see what it comes up with. Oh, this is quite good. Before watching this series, what do you know about the Last Supper and its connection to communion? Okay, that's quite helpful. That's a nice settling activity or starter activity or do now activity, whatever your place of learning calls it. I've got some of the questions there as well. So quite helpful, I would say. So what I did was this. I had not seen the documentary at all. I literally just got Gemini to generate this task sheet. I sat down with the task sheet that it generated with some regeneration, refreshes, etc. And I watched the documentary and I used the task sheet as a frame to help me create a task sheet that was more personalized and more tailored. I would say it saved me 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, I didn't have to pause once because I'd already had a writing frame for me, and that was a big time saver. I think what's interesting too, going back to the resources page that I showed you that many other teachers have, got me thinking, well, first of all, do we need that anymore? Okay, is it going to get to a stage where actually rather than a teacher posting or saying help, I need resources and this, and actually they can just generate their own very easily and then tailor it specifically to their classes or their groups? But also I think there's a very big issue in terms of the morality in terms of using AI. So for example, the task sheet that I've generated for this TV show First Communion, I have not put it on the test page. Why? Because I didn't create most of it. It was generated by AI, and I'm not sure how I feel about that yet. I'm not sure what the legal situation is, the moral situation, and so forth, because essentially Gemini did the hard work for me. Okay, it laid the foundations of that writing frame, and I was able to personalize it. So that's something that obviously I'm going to find out and learn about as I go through. The next thing I wanted to share with you is that with my journey on AI, I had my first ever hallucination. Now, thanks to Google, AI hallucinations are incorrect or misleading results from artificial intelligence models. They can occur when AI systems generate outputs that are nonsensical, illogical, or factually inaccurate. And I had my first ever hallucination. So I was playing around with that simpler prompt structure that I mentioned in the last video. So I'm a year 7 student in the UK. I want to learn about Henry VIII. I would like to know why he was important in English history. I needed to have a timeline with maps. And it produced a very interesting timeline. It was very useful until it came up with this. So it very kindly gave me some pictures of Henry VIII's wives, including Jane Seymour. However, rather than giving me the Jane Seymour of the Tudor dynasty, it gave me Jane Seymour, the actor, Dr. Quinn, medicine woman. So the rest of the information was absolutely fine, but I guess it reminded me of that second key thing about human judgment and making sure that you have that critical eye, your common sense, your subject knowledge, getting a peer, a friend, whoever to look at it just to review and check it. So that's where I am at the moment. I'm going to be playing around with AI for a bit longer, and I'll probably see you in a few days or so. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy your learning.